the name Pheez. That's my alias. I'm from Bloomfield, Connecticut, and something that I care deeply about, is very passionate about, is music. Now, I've been rapping since, the mid 90s, since I was a kid. But I had stopped rapping like once I got injured because, I didn't know how to go about doing it. And so a friend of mine put me on to being able to use different types of recording software so that not only could I record myself, but I can also produce. So I use like Dragon naturally speaking software in order to be able to manipulate it, but it's really intricate. And so I made a device where I can operate a mouse with my mouth. That enabled me to say, okay, well, you need to go get a microphone and other pieces of equipment so I could actually start recording myself. I had been writing songs probably like maybe a year or two after I got hurt. And then finally, we just set up everything in my basement. I got a good engineer who will come in and record me right here at the house, do all my mixing and mastering for me. I produced most of the music and arranged it. I composed it as well. That was a blessing because it's my outlet. Like when I'm frustrated or feel like giving up or you feel like not dealing with the injury and everything that it entails. June 12, 2005, 13 years ago, I was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt, and I was out with my friends in Virginia Beach. I got out of the water talking to my friend, and I said to him, "Do you see anybody drowning?" jokingly. And he pointed at the water and said, "There goes somebody." And I ran in the water thinking that the water was just going to be more deep than shallow. And I broke my neck on impact. And I was just face down, preparing to die. I only had a little bit of breath in me. I had a mouthful of salt water. At that moment, I just cried out to God and asked God to save me. My body turned. I was able to breathe. And then they dragged me out of the water and onto the beach. To get to the place where I am today, it took a lot of prayer and diligence. I have a great supporting family and friends, which is essential to recovery because it's not just a physical recovery that you have to get through. It's also a mental one. I didn't want to stay living with my parents forever. They're only going to get older. And so I thought, how quickly can I move out and can I be independent without relying on them? And so I think that was like one of the first biggest steps to actually get out on my own to see what it is like to survive on your own without being codependent on somebody. In terms of my biggest accomplishment, being married and having children, because that, quite frankly, was like more my concern when I first got hurt. I was like, oh man, like ain't nobody gonna love me. I'm not gonna get no girl. Like it was easy before, but now it's like must be like kind of super hard. I ain't trying to be cocky, but but now you got to be so vulnerable. And I met just a beautiful woman who accepts me just as I am. And after that, we have two boys, a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. Something I'm eager to learn next is really understanding the dynamics of everyone's life. We're such a diverse group, right? So not everybody who gets paralyzed in the same way. You got high quads, you have paras, you have quads who still have function in their arms, and I'm always interested to know how is it that they go about their day and what do they do to thrive. I might have achieved a certain level that somebody newly injured hasn't, but yet there's still more to know and figure out and just see how those individuals can impact me as much as I can probably impact them. And I would also say just the advancements in technology. What else is going on to help people in our situation? Don't get so caught up on what it is that you can't do and try to figure out what else can you do. I mean, when we had our first child, the thing that I was concerned the most about was like bonding with my child. So obviously you can't physically pick him up. So me and my wife put our heads together and we put like a blanket and a pillow around my stomach, and I tilted my chair back and I put my son on my lap. And so when he would cry, I would drive him around the house and sing, rap, play my music to soothe him, and it worked. figure out the different channels and the different ways that you can still contribute to your life and contribute to the lives of others. Just don't be stagnant because this is not the end of the road for you. I appreciate things a lot much more now that, I'm a quad as opposed to when I was walking. And seemingly I've been able to accomplish more in the chair than I did with walking. I longed for children, and that didn't happen while I was walking, but it happened when I got paralyzed. Independence, home ownership, and what have you. I didn't do that when I was walking. I did that when I got paralyzed, and so I think there's a multitude of things that I realized that you don't have to be walking and fully functioning, still have a good time, still trying to enjoy yourself. You just got to find a different path and a different route. And it's a lot more fulfilling when you stop taking things for granted.